I received an email back in May 2025 from an engineer who was going through a rough patch in his career and was seeking for my thoughts. I personally responded to him over an email. However, I have been thinking there could be or there might be more number of people who is going through a similar situation like his. So I felt, creating a video on this topic could help more number of people. Of course, I won't be revealing any personal details here, but let me read out the email for you all and we'll take it from there. So the email goes like this. I hope you're doing well. I'm writing to you because I've been following your work and YouTube videos related to BIM, and they have been incredibly insightful and motivating. Thank you for sharing such practical content. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much for your kind words. I'm a civil engineering graduate and have recently worked as an MEPF engineer for about 7 months. Although I initially aspired to work in architecture or structure domains, I was assigned to MEPF due to project availability. I gave my best to the role, but unfortunately, I wasn't given the opportunity to transition to the areas we have discussed earlier, and eventually I had to step away from the job. Right now, I feel a bit lost about the next steps. I'm deeply interested in building a strong career in the BIM industry. I'm even considering pursuing a master's in construction project management with a focus on BIM. But I would really appreciate your opinion on whether that would be a good direction. Would you be open to sharing your thoughts or advice based on your journey and experience in the field? I truly admire the practical value of your content, and if possible, I'd love to see more hands-on videos on real project workflows or tools. Looking forward to hearing from you. Warm regards. Well, thank you, buddy. Thank you for reaching out. If I have to break down this email, I can break it into 3 components. Can I say it component? But you get the point. Now let me break down this email for you. Number 1, he's a civil engineer who enjoys BIM but is unhappy in his current role or situation. Number 2, he decided to quit his job. And number 3, he is now seeking clarity about his career path and is considering pursuing a master's degree in construction project management. Let's address the first part of the email. So I would like to share a personal anecdote here. So when I started my BIM journey, do you know what was my first task? It wasn't modeling, it wasn't class detection or any such thing. It was getting a website done for my organization. I wasn't designing the website by myself, but I was responsible for everything else. The ideation, the concept, the graphics, visuals, the user experience, the content, and coordinating with all the web designers, all of it. This may sound a little odd, especially since I was hired as assistant project manager in a BIM consultancy firm, but I never said no to any task. I was ready to take ownership even if it was outside of my core roles, and I was okay being a little outside of my comfort zone. I have been working in a fairly small organization, and in such environment you have to be self-starter. You don't just stick to your job title, and in the process I ended up doing different kind of things, conducting webinars, giving lectures, training professionals, students, even helping with a bit of business development and sales. And honestly, I enjoyed doing all of it. And ultimately, these experiences expanded my horizon. They didn't just improve my technical skills, it made me a better, I would say, more confident professional. It gave me that belief that I can figure out things by myself, and no matter the subject or no matter the problem. When you're just starting your career, the chances of getting the exact type of work you want in the very beginning, it's pretty low, I would say. But that's the beauty of it. Let things be a little uncertain. Because sometimes in that uncertainty, you end up discovering yourself your real strength, your weaknesses. And if you're fairly young and just starting your journey, I would recommend to be open. Be curious, try different things. You're literally being paid to explore. What more could you ask for? Now, let me come to the second part of the email on quitting the job. I have a mixed thought on this. On one hand, I completely understand that if you're unhappy in a job and if it's affecting your mental health, quitting may seem like the obvious choice or the right choice. Your well being should always be the priority. But personally, if I were in that situation, I wouldn't quit without a plan. And here's why. Quitting without a clear next step or plan might feel good for a few days, but soon the reality kicks in. Staying idle for too long can drain your motivation, add unnecessary stress, and slowly hamper your confidence. Even if you are not in your ideal role, being on the job keeps you close to the industry. You're still learning, you're building connections, and staying visible. And sometimes that's exactly how unexpected opportunities show up. And of course, everyone's circumstances are different. I'm not here to judge anyone's decision. This is just my personal take, and maybe it's because I have a low risk appetite. But for me, having a plan in place before making a big move feels safer and I would say more sustainable. Now let's come to the third part of the email. It's regarding pursuing master's degree. Now, regarding the idea of pursuing a master's in construction project management with a focus on BIM, yes, it can be a smart move, but here's the catch. Don't take it as an escape from your current situation. A master's degree should be a strategic career decision and not a reactive one. From my experience, you can reap the maximum out of your master's degree only when you already have some practical exposure, be it BIM or any other field. You have clarity on your career direction. You can see how this degree will complement your skills and open new opportunities. Many BIM professionals grow successfully through hands-on project experience, good mentorship, continuous upskilling on the job, often without going for a full-time master's degree. Having said that, only you can truly evaluate your strength, your goals, your circumstances, and obviously your dreams. So just keep that in mind. Additionally, I would like to share my humble suggestion. I may not be sure of many things in life, but there is one thing I know with, I would say, absolute certainty, that do not go for a master's degree without some practical or without some work experience. So please don't. The reason why I'm telling you this is because when you work in the industry, you get to discover your real strength and weaknesses. And here's the beauty of it. Your master's program can become a powerful opportunity to sharpen your strength and work on your weaknesses. And without this experience, your master's degree might just be theory floating in the air, impressive on paper, but hard to connect with real world problems. See, work experience before a master's degree helps you choose the right specialization that aligns with your career goals. So build a network that you can leverage during and after your studies. Understand industry challenges so that you can use your master's degree to solve the actual problems. I hope I was able to add some perspective. If you're going through a similar situation or a rough patch in your career, feel free to reach out. I'll do my best to respond and help in whatever way I can. So, alright, on that note, we've come towards the end of the video. I thank you so much for your time and I'll see you in the next one.